Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is going to be the most important video I've ever made for you guys. For you to understand why these pumps are going bad. Even pressure washer machines, the wiring that's being used on some of your installs that you're putting on there is way too long for the gauge that you are running. For the amps you're asking for, I should say. So on this system right here, you're going to have builders that build for a certain washer, basically a style of a washer. So if, like, what's his name builds all his machines, all his trailers, if you notice, all come with ball valves. So basically this is like a transfer pump that you put a tip on the end. That's how I look at it. It's less resistance, you're not on and off the gun, you're just flooding everything with chemicals. If you use this style gun, this gun is going to take a lot more resistance. It's going to take a beat into your system because you're going to be asking the power wires to do a lot more work for you versus just a ball valve open flow. When you come on and off the gun, you create a lot of resistance in your line. Voltage starts dropping and you start running out of power real quick. Or you burn up the micro switch, the relay on the way, and everything else. So I'm going to show you guys why this is happening and how to fix it. So that's one. Then we have batteries. If you have the money, you always buy the lithium battery. It will give you more power. Make sure you buy the right charger. Marine batteries is what I've always used. I always got them from Walmart. But I always used more than one. I always had 2 or plus batteries on my trailer because I want to stay above 12 volts at the battery at all times. If I ever go below 12 volts at the pump at any time, that means the pump needs to be shut off and charge the system. If you do not charge that system, you're now sending dirty voltage to your pump, which then causes the relay to melt, the micro switch to get melted and break your demand pumps. So if you haven't followed me to how to fix your demand pumps, it's on my website as well. Don't throw them pumps out. You can save them. You can make them better actually than what they made them. That's the way I look at it anyway. When you understand electrical, you'll understand what I mean. 12 volts, low amps. The pumps that I'm showing that are doing amazing out here because we're feeding them with 8 gauge wire. 12 volts, 19, 10, right? 10 foot of wire. So it's 5 power, 5 negative, 1% drop because we want to lose the least amount to the pump. This is the voltage drop. The minute it gets under 12, that pump is now receiving dirty voltage. We need to shut it off and let it charge for a while. So numbers on the lithium, if you ran lithium, same, it's asking for 8 gauge, but it feeds you more, so you're gonna be above 12 for a lot longer, and you can spray for a lot longer than you can on the marine. Remco on the lithium, asking for 6 gauge on 10 feet of wire. Now that's for 1% drop. The average is 3%, but if I'm buying a trailer or whatever, or if I'm building it for myself, I like to see a 1% because I want my wires to last. I don't want to be replacing wires all the time. Plus, I want my pump to get what it needs, the best I could give it so it can work the best. And that goes on 24 volts. That goes on your machines, pressure washers, P40s, key starts. This all has the same effect on them machines too, guys. So 12 volt, like I said, I always like 2 batteries, 30 amps, say a Remco, it's asking for 6 on the 12 volt, 24 volt, 50 amps, like the pumps I've been fixing, they ask for 6 gauge. 6 gauge is actually rated for almost 80 amps. So that's giving you enough room for your gun work to cool down. also. So that's, you know, you gotta give the, you don't want to give the amp to amp. That's how you burn up your pumps. So you've got to build 125 to 150 over asking build with the surge included, not before the surge. So if you're not adding your surge into your builds, you're doing it wrong. So 13.8 volts on a 12 volt. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here on this one. Oh, that's what this one was for. So just so you guys understand, 24 volts pulls less amps than a 12 volt. I tell you guys, 12 volts is very dirty. If you don't supply it a voltage, it will hurt you. So you see how it's asking for 6 here? 24 volt though. If you ran the same setup, but you ran 12 volts, right? It's asking for 4 gauge. Why? Because 12 gauge acts for more amperage than 24 volts and 12 volts. So 24 pulls less, 12 pulls more. That's why you need a bigger wire on the 12s. Okay, talking about switches. Remember I told you about, remember before? Okay. A lot of builds, I see this on there. This is a bad switch to be putting on builds. This pump, for instance, this switch is a 30 amp switch. This wire is 10 gauge. So if you run your pumps, which it's asking for, 8 gauge, you're not going to go into the switch at 8 gauge to 10 gauge, out of the switch, 10 gauge, back to 8 gauge. This is a choke point. This is no go. No go. So it can't cover the amperage. I don't like that switch. I'm not a fan of it. I even said something to the guy last night. Take that out of your truck. It's going to create a choke point. These wires I see you guys use, gator clips or whatever you want to call them, jumper cable clips. These things are the worst things to use. They create a lot of problems for you. A lot of resistance in the line. You're hurting yourself by using this. These switches are not rated. These I'm not a fan of. These quick connects, I'd rather use my own fittings. These things, I've seen them burn up. I've seen the metal inside get separated. You had to pinch them back together from the resistance built into the travel. So these are things you gotta look for on these. But this one's not even rated for 5 or 7 gallon pump. This is why they burn up. You guys are buying the wrong stuff for the install. This is why I'm showing you this. This switch right here, somebody's using it. I do not remember what pump it is on. But if it's on a 19 amp, you're good to go because it's rated at 30. If you're using this on a Delavan pump or a Remco, I request you to remove this. If it can't take the extra 5 amps and it's only rated at 30 amps, it's not rated at 40, this is not going to support it. This is going to burn it up, and this is going to choke your system out. Another problem I see, these switches, rockers, worst thing to use. These things are made out of plastic. You don't want these. These, look, half of them, they say 30 amps. Some of them are 20 amps. These rockers, these are plastic. They burn up just like a relay and a micro switch. And then here's the pumps. So, like I said, this pump is, I think it says 18 max, 20 amp fuse required. But here's the problem. When you do the install, and this says 20 amps, if you use too thin a wire, you're going to blow these fuses because of the resistance. So this is why, even on this amp, it requires 8 gauge. But you can't install them rockers that don't even support the amps for the switch because now you're choking the system up. You don't want to do that. You're creating a lot of resistance in your power line. So these are ones I like to use. Why? Because they're rated for 250 amps. Your pump is only asking for 35, right? So you're not going to create any resistance in this switch versus the 30 amp switches. So This is one I like because it has a voltmeter on it. You can see where your voltage is at. So you don't have to pull a voltmeter out. But you still need the voltage at the pump. If this is by the battery, that's reading towards the battery. I need the readings at the pump. Here's the other one. I've had this for over 5 years. This one holds 455 amps. No choke point. This is not just 30 amps. So these are the pumps you guys are seeing. 20 amps, 7 gallons a minute. I think there's a 70 PSI. Yeah, 60. But if you're wired for a Remco and then you drop down to this pump and you already have the 8 gauge, the performance out of this pump is ridiculous. Here's Delavan. This one says 25. But there's another one that says 2535. So that's what you got to watch. Because their one pump calls for 35. So if you build it for 35, you got to check the surge. This pump right here is another hot commodity for 50 bucks. This is a 5.5. It only acts for 17 amps. So like on this one in the video, the way I wired it for the guy when he came over is we went straight off the battery. He has 2 batteries in parallel. Okay. We ran 8 gauge ground straight to the pump. We took the breaker and the switch in here, and then it goes to the pump. So, and that's 8 gauge. That's why that thing is nasty. That's why I always tell you guys, it's about the wiring, it's about everything before the pump, and then it's the tip, of course, too. Here's the other pump with my buddy that we just shot on the roof. He was shooting that on the roof. And this, he was wired for a Remco, and now he's using this one, and that's what you see. Because the pump's getting more than it needs. Same on suction side, guys. You choke up the suction side, your pump's never going to put out the volume that you're asking for. Then here you got Remco, 5.3, 100 PSI, 19 max. You guys can't put 20 amp breakers or 20 amp fuses here if you're on and off the gun. Feel your fuses, feel your wire. If they're warm, upgrade your wiring and check your breaker for voltage loss. Speaking about voltage loss, here's the test, or your test that you could do on yours. So what you want to do, you want to take a reading of your battery, then you want to run the machine, take the reading out the battery again. That's under load. Then battery voltage at the source, which is what I said, and then voltage at the pump, which is the critical. That pump must always have 12 plus volts. If it is under 12 volts, it is dirty voltage. It is not good. You got to turn that machine off. So 3%, they say is good. I like 1%. Because if I build it with 1%, I know my wires are going to last forever. I know my pumps ain't going to burn up. And I just won't have a worry in the world because everything's done right. I'm not just barely getting by. Hope this helped you guys. I mean, it's all about the wiring, the switching, or the switches, I should say. You got to make sure that everything you're using could pass through with no restriction. So you can't use a 30 amp breaker and then put a 20 amp switch and then the Delavan that pulls 35 amps at the end. It's not going to work. You can't do that. You're choking the system. Hopefully that helps. If anything else, let me know.